Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, and in this episode, it is Phase 3 of the Space Elevator that we've got to dive into. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. So let's have a look at what we need to do to be able to get our Phase 3 of the Space Elevator completed. And of course, that's going to be completing items that need to be dumped into our Space Elevator. So we already have the Versatile Framework completed when we did our Tier 5 and Tier 6 milestones. Now we have our Modular Engines we need to be able to build, and our Adaptive Control Units, of which neither of these production lines are currently being made. These are going to require manufacturers to build them. Let's run up here where I've got a little bit more room that we can place down a manufacturer and have a look at what our requirements are going to be. So we're going to grab our manufacturer, we're going to slap one of these things down and have a quick look at those recipes. Modular Engine. So we need motors, we're making those. We need rubber, we're making those. And we need smart plating, which I think we're still making those. So this one shouldn't be too difficult to be able to do. The big thing here is making sure that we have the logistics around being able to get these materials to where they need to be to build this stuff. So that one I don't think is going to be too much of a problem. So the other one we got to look at is our adaptive control units, and adaptive control unit recipe. What we're going to need is automated wire, which we have being made, circuit boards, which we're actually making, and heavy modular frames and computers. The only thing is I'm not sure about the quantities of these that we're making. So let's have a look at our our computers first, because we need 2 per minute of the computers and 1 per minute of our heavy modular frames. I don't know what we're actively making on this, so we're going to quickly have a look at this. I know we only have one manufacturer that's building these right now. We're making 2.5, so we're good there. That's not a problem. And then the other one that we got to look at is our heavy modular frames, and of course that's all the way over on the other side of the map. So we've got to navigate our way through all of our various conveyor systems and go have a look at the manufacturer that's over. Basically, I built it over on the steel side because it kind of... The modular frames was already going over there, and we needed encased industrial beams and pipes and stuff, so it kind of made sense to have this on this side. Now we are making 2 of these, so we are making enough per minute. I should check on the circuit boards too, because I think we need 5 circuit boards per minute. Okay, so here we are at our circuit boards, and we're making 7.5 and 7. So we're making 15 per minute, but how many is computers using? Computers are using 10, which leaves us 5 left over. So we don't need to upgrade anything right away. So this should be a relatively simple process. The hardest part about all of this is going to be logistically getting this all to where we can get everything either A, fed into the space elevator, and B, all of these materials accumulated and in one spot to be able to build our 2 pieces, which is the adaptive control unit and the modular engine. So let's get started with the modular engine, and we'll go from there. So I think we're going to take up the real estate over here by our computers to try to get some of these materials over here to build with. We've got access to our computers, we've got access to our circuit boards, we've got a little bit of space. If we need anything from the quartz area, it's here. Like, we're starting to get into some more technical builds, and this seems to be kind of like Tech Corner, we're going to call it, because we've got our strange alien matter being manufactured over here, circuit boards and computers, and that we're going to call this the tech wing of our starter factory. Rubber, not a problem, that's over there. Smart plating comes from over that way, and engines are coming from that way. So it's going to be fun trying to bring all of those materials over here. The only thing maybe I'm not making enough motors, because what do I need? I need 2 motors per minute. Let's see how many of the motors I'm actively using right now. Oh, looking at this right now, I can already see I'm not even using the motors. So we are making 5. So we're golden. Motors aren't a problem. And logistically, all I need to do is just I'm just going to delete this out. We've got this storage container here so that I've got access to pull from for building, because of course motors get used for everything. But I'm going to just throw down a smart splitter here. Logistics. Oh, there's our new Mark II pipes. We're going with a smart splitter right here, and this side is going to be set to overflow, so that it continues to fill our container when we pull stuff from it, when it's not being used from somewhere else. And for now, based off of how we're making this stuff, Mark III conveyors are good enough for that. And then now I can run this line out that way, and we'll have everything that we need to be able to pull off getting our motors into there. And then we'll just bring it into that first port on the manufacturer, so it's not logistically in the way or anything. I think this side actually turned out pretty easy. Now, who knows? Like, I have no planned layout of what this factory is going to look like as I'm building it. I just kind of build because I want to build. Okay, so first things first is we're going to be building this conveyor to go right over top of our quartz manufacturing line, which is maybe not the most convenient, but it is what it is, the way we've got things laid out here. So we'll just build this up. Again, I guess it does pay off to do a little planning if you can do some planning. But I know myself and how I end up playing this game is at the end of Phase 3, once I get the Mark III miner, I'm hoping the Mark III miner is in Phase 7, or Tier 7, and because that's going to be the first thing I pull off. I'm going to get the Mark III miner done, and then we're going to do like a complete base teardown and start all over again. Oh, I don't want straight. I want default for those. Hello, default. There we go. And then we can switch back to straight for this. And motors are now being fed in. Yay! Okay, rubber is the next one. Well, that's just coming from over here. I'm not even concerned about that. That's so close and easy for us that I'm actually going to not even stress about that at all, because I will just pull from this line that we're dumping into the Awesome Sink. See, I have Awesome Sink set up. The plastic one is actually all the way back out at the factory, and then I brought the rubber Awesome Sink here because when you're dealing with oil production and the fact that we're making fuel off of that, we need never to back up on our plastic and rubber. If we do, it'll eventually back up our polymer resin, which eventually will back up our fuel production, which will then eventually shut down our refineries that are making our fuel. So then we end up with no fuel generators and we lose a whole pile of power. So you're going to keep that thing always in the back of your mind of certain manufacturing lines that you do. You've got to make sure you're dumping them into an Awesome Sink so that you don't inadvertently kill some other process that's happening while we're manufacturing. Smart plating though, where is our smart plating at? I know it's on this floor here somewhere. I want to say it's way over on this far side. Are you smart plating? Nope, your rotors. You are smart plating going into what? What are you making? Yes, so we have smart plating here. This is the output side of smart plating going into a storage container. So I just need to drop this down here somewhere and try to navigate it through this to get it over there so that it doesn't take up a whole pile of room and be like super ugly. So I'm going to work on that here, come up with a plan, and then show you what that looks like. Okay, I've been able to creatively find a way to be able to move these smart plating from, we put a smart splitter in here so we still have an overflow going into storage if we need to manually pull any of those smart platings. And then we're just elevating it down to the next floor. It comes down and I'm shooting it across the ceiling through here. We have a tiny little bit of clipping through this one support, which I will try to figure out how to get around that at some point. Whether or not it's totally enclosing that and putting a elevator hole there through a wall to be able to run that through. But I did kind of move around my little ramp that I was using to get up and down here because it was like cutting right through the middle of it. So I've kind of moved things around a little bit there. And then we are feeding through all the way over, and then it's going up through conveyor hole and into the input on the manufacturer that's up there. So now we've got our motors are connected. We have our smart plating connected. Then the only other thing left to do is take our rubber from over here and shoot it into there as well, and then get some power hooked up and the logistics down into the space elevator. All right, I brought the rubber line. It's coming down over this way. We basically, I guess I didn't need to put in this smart, oh yeah, I do have the smart splitter in here because we still have our backup storage going in so that we can grab rubber when we need it. So it's feeding in this way. We got overflow going into a storage container. And then NE goes forward. It's shooting around this way. We've got it elevated up over top of our existing feeds for our plastic. And then we drop it back down and it's feeding into the manufacturer, but it's going into another smart splitter so that we have our overflow into an awesome sink to prevent any backup at all. So now we've got motors going in, we've got rubber going in, and we've got smart plating. And this is slow. This makes 1 per minute. And how many do we need? We need like 500 of these, I think. Slide all the way down here. Yeah, we need 500. We've made 2. We've got a long ways to go. What is that? 500 divided by 60? That's going to be 8 hours of just sitting there making our modular engines. I guess we got plenty of time to get things built for the adaptive control units. I guess that's a bonus, maybe? I don't know. So we'll let that run, and we're going to let things just kind of pile up here, and hopefully we can get that filled up. We now have our adaptive control units completed. The manufacturer is all set up here, and logistically, on the top side here, it's clean enough, I think. We've got our automated wiring is coming in over from the far side. It's kind of basically paralleling the motors that are coming in and feeding into our manufacturer. Heavy modular frames, they're basically the longest thing taking to travel over to here as they are scooting around all the way over from that far side of tier 2, and we've got them on like the underside of tier 3 of the concrete structure that I've been building here. And so they're feeding in. Next would be our circuit boards. Circuit boards, we're basically just dropping them in right from here. I'd put a smart splitter in place here. So priority is to feed into our computer manufacturing, and then anything left over is available for the adaptive control unit. And then computers, I'm just coming out of the storage unit here for computers. They go down underneath the floor and come up and connect to the manufacturer right here that's got our adaptive control units. I have actually had this up and running for quite a while now to let it all stockpile so that we can get things wrapped up here fairly quick. So underneath though, it's starting to be a bit of a logistical nightmare underneath this thing. Look at the conveyors we've got tucked in on the roof. It's clean, it's organized, I can see where everything's going, it's not clipping. We're dropping things down properly so that there's no clipping of conveyors and running materials in, but it is starting to get to be just a little bit more confusing. And then the adaptive control units shoot on down to our space elevator. Okay, we should be really close here now to be able to launch this off and get phase 3 of the space elevator completed and see whatever this ends up building out to with this next edition. So let's head over. Yeah, we are. We've got our versatile framework, we've got our modular engines, and we have our adaptive control units completed. Let's load up the cargo. Project assembly is moving along. It is sealed and ready to send.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed. You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to tiers 7 and 8 in the hub. In fact, perhaps you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues. Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts. Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you know the average pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway, I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
All right, let's send it and have a look at what this looks like. Away it goes, away it goes. All right, it's starting to build. We're not really can see much. There's some stuff going on around the outside. Okay, we got a little bit more stuff happening. This is so cool watching this build up. And I'd say that's probably about complete right where we're sitting right there. Yep. Space elevator is returned back down here. So we've got some more like outer framework it looks like in there. It's really hard to say what all that's gonna be, but man, that looks freaking amazing. So space elevator phase 3 complete. Project assembly phase 3 complete. Now it's time to dive into tier 7 and tier 8. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was a little bit more of a quick one because we just had a few things to build up. Reach down to hit that like button on the video. Comment what you think this is going to be when it ends up getting completed. And let me know what you're thinking of Satisfactory 1.0. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified when I've uploaded a new video. And in the meantime, just sit back, relax, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.